Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Overwatch All-Star Brawl presented to you by Star eSports. And obviously, without a word from our sponsors, we couldn't progress. So it's going to be, again, omnicoach.gg. You can look at their website, look at what they have, video packages and everything. First one, 10% off, just on us because they sponsor us so nicely. It's going to be the code Star eSports if you want to use that. And I could personally say I was a Silver Widow main. And after a few video sessions of theirs, I'm now all higher than Silver. I'm not going to say how much higher, but I did improve. So maybe I have them to thank for it. And yeah, that's definitely something to look forward to. Obviously, this is a double elimination bracket. We have 16 teams, excuse me. And right now we're going to have match number 12, which is going to be the upper bracket round of 8. So round of 8 is this. Aptyx eSports versus Citizens. And I'm out of class, joined by poor Zach again tonight. And how have you been? It's been a while since we've seen each other.
Yeah, it's been a total of about 20-something hours.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit. Going into this match, so I'm pretty excited for it. And I believe we do have a guest beforehand, if you want to go ahead and start that.
We do. It should be Fiery Panda, who is one of the coaches of Aptyx eSports. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, guys. Excited for a good game tonight.
Yeah, obviously we all are, and I hope the players are too. So tell us a little bit more about what exactly you do for Aptyx.
Currently, I've been the last couple of weeks. I'm fairly new to the group, but we've been coaching through scrims, did a couple of VOD reviews, really trying to nail down our communication and things moving forward. We'll be doing a lot more VOD review stuff with them after we get a couple things worked out here.
Okay, so you say you were more of an assisting and analytical role, or do you already have that? I don't know, like, is there like a specific area within the coaching that you are more like responsible for? If that makes sense.
I do a little bit of both. Depends on the night. Depends on who's around. Yeah,
okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense. You know, obviously, not every team does it the same way. There's teams that have those very niche coaches that say like, you do micro, you do macro, you do this, you do that, and not every team can obviously fit that in. Sometimes you have schedules to work with, so that's definitely understandable. You say you haven't been them for that long. Do you feel you're gelling well with the group so far?
Yeah, I've worked with a couple of the players before this team, which is part of why I ended up where I am, and I think it's worked out well for all of us.
Okay, that's good to hear. I always hate to see someone get somewhere and then it doesn't really work out just for personal relations or whatever it is. Yeah, is there anything in particular you want us to look out for? Maybe not necessarily strat wise, but maybe player wise.
I mean, I don't really want to give any leaks. I think it's going to be a good match.
Okay.
There's a lot of good players that I think have the potential to pop off, and I don't want to offend anybody by calling out anybody certain on our team.
You know what?
Everybody has their moments, you know.
Exactly. You know what? We know the diplomatic answers. Don't do anything. Do anything rash. Definitely on board with that one. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Citizens is a team that is very familiar in both this tournament and I think the scene as a whole. Have you prepared like in particular for Citizens as well, or has it just been we're going to focus on how the team is doing right now and building that roster to like a power level? Like, is there like basically has there been specific match preparation?
Yes, there has been actually.
Okay.
We've spent a few hours here and there going over things and deciding exactly what we want to play. Watch some material. I think we're pretty ready for them, honestly. I think we can give them a run for their money.
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously we hope so. I mean, they've been winners, they've been runner-ups last time, so definitely a force to be reckoned with. Before we let you go, obviously you're going to enjoy the match as well. Is there any shout-outs you want to do to anyone? Any maybe Twitch subscribers you want to get your hands on?
You know, I don't honestly think so. I'm pretty quiet, kind of living in my own little corner here. But thanks to Aptyx for having me around, and thanks to you guys for reaching out to us for this opportunity, you know.
Yeah, obviously, and well, thank you again for the interview. Of course, I hope you have fun watching the match, and that you're well. Good luck, obviously, keeping the nerves together when it gets a little bit close. Um, for now, I think we're gonna be able to get into the match. Actually, Zach, is that something we're happy to do?
Yeah, definitely gonna be excited for this match here. Gonna be on Lijiang Tower to start us off with. Looking at both the teams, or Aptyx in their last match actually did get to play on Lijiang Towers and took that map. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see them from the side of Citizens during their last match. So right now, going into it, you don't really know what could be happening, but because of history, we do know that Aptyx does feel comfortable enough to win on this map.
Yeah, and we do also have to maybe address a little bit of an elephant in the room that Aptyx was the only team in the first round of the main bracket that dropped a map that has progressed. So they know at least what it is to lose a map and know how to potentially come back from that. Citizens, they've had that experience in the past, not yet in this edition of the Overwatch All Star Brawl, but they know how it goes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one. I really don't know which way it's going to swing. They sounded confident in the way they prepared specifically for Citizens, but Citizens is likely also a bit familiar with how Aptyx plays. So I think it could go both ways in the preparation phase. Although I do definitely think the onus is on Citizens to still prove they're as good as they are.
Yeah, and prove that they definitely will here. On to first, we're going to have the Control Center. And Control Center is usually better with those more tanky style compositions. And a lot of times you'll see a Mei also run here if they do even decide to not go with sort of Goats-ish setup and want to go more towards that bunker that's been pretty prevalent recently. So yeah, expect to see some Mei and maybe some tanker heavy comps.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of that Mei. I mean, there's a reason why I got the golden gun. So yeah, definitely not because I'm an evil mastermind and inside all I want to do is put icicles through people's heads. But she's just a fun character. I really think it's a nice design they did with her. The only thing I wish that you could skate. I want the Frozone mechanic. That's the only thing I want for Mei.
That'd be pretty interesting, to be honest. See how that works, and like maybe they
Yeah.
have like a slide effect or something. That'd be different. That'd be different.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they have to change something about her in order to not make that like an overpowered thing. But we're gonna see Mei on both sides. We're definitely gonna see how that works. But default's on the Doomfist here.
Yeah, Doomfist. You saw him a little bit in some previous matches here. Coming out here onto Control Center though, I think he does play really well just because you have all these close quarter walls and he's able to get that one shot potential.
Yeah, he didn't get the one shot there, but he punched a few people out of position, including just the half the back line. So teams both losing members here, but Salieri going down is a little bit of a troublemaker because that's a lot of damage that's just going to stick on the side of Aptyx here. Doesn't really matter if Doomfist goes into the back line and 2 will also fall, so it will be first point control going over to Citizens, but the fight isn't over just yet. They're still pulling it back and going back and forth a little bit, and with all that healing from both Ana still being there, that is still going to be a problem with Borkin going down with Praise. That should be the end of it.
Yeah, and right after that fight, just when they decided to go again back in to see if they can't retake it there, they did have the kind of abilities to do that with their Zarya being high charged, but Purple also being high charged was able to take out their Ryan really quick, so then the fight just looked a lot more less in their favor, so then they started back up a bit, and then Praise actually got taken down with the high charge, so they knew that that fight was going to be over before it begins. And Rakatac's actually over on the side now. He might get caught out, but he's going to be able to sleep the Ryan there, and pretty good anti-nade.
Yeah, and Borkin does go down early, so the Shatter gets a lot of value, but so does the Blizzard of Moonblue, who's going to get out on top here. It looks like it's still going to be Citizens, but a lot has to be invested in order to get that done.
Yeah, now going into that, looking at the ults used right now, they're actually going to get the Shatter onto the Doomfist, but both Ryan's getting taken off the map.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be good here for Aptyx, isn't it? Because they will have to be able to attack sooner with their own Ryan.
Yeah, but that wall's going to buy them a little more time. Blizzard coming through now, making it a little bit harder for Aptyx to actually start pushing in here more than like they want to right now with this man-up advantage they have.
Oh, Mui is just surrounded, taken out there, but Encro as well, so the numbers are still there, especially with Camboya also falling. No sound barrier, even though he had it, but no Lucio either. So mobility advantage here for Aptyx, but they just get grabbed up on the side. There's the battle for the Doomfist and the May, but Purple and Salieri just clean up the objective. Both get the double kill, and it looks like once again Aptyx is going to have to go back to spawn.
Yeah, really impressive by the side of Citizens there, just making their way slowly back, using a couple ultimates in exchange with Salieri again going off the map with that Ryan charge. That's going to be something that Aptyx loves to see right about now. But that wall is something they're not going to like to see. They're going to need to get to this point fast. They don't have much time. Will they even be able to make it?
Tuo almost made it, but just got taken out just before he made it. You see his corpse is just over the line, but obviously that never triggered, and the wall slowed them down enough, like you said. Nicely done from Citizens to just get that first point, and that looked pretty strong from them already.
Yeah, 100-0 to start us off here onto that Troll Center. Going into this next one, definitely a lot less of a tank-heavy play style on this map. So now Citizens are going to have to change it up, and of course, Aptyx won both of their rounds last time they played, which I believe was on Night Market and on Garden. So these are the ones that they probably feel more comfortable on, it seems.
Both teams pulling out a lot of DPS here. We actually see the triple coming out here from Aptyx, but it's going to be the dive with the Farah Mercy and the Widow Ana on the other side of Citizens. So let's see who gets out on top here. The poke is going to be underway from both Farahs, obviously, but Defaults might have an angle here. Salieri gets booped up the map. That's like not something you don't see happen often from a Winston. They just pull him away to the other side. They just say, what? You're not going to get even close to the bridge. And it looks like first port control is going to go to Aptyx in a pretty easy fashion.
Yeah, I'm looking at the team comps right now. You can see really a big difference is the Widow versus the Sombra. The Sombra able to get the hacks, but the Widow have to hit the headshots to take down the Farah Mercy on their own like that. But right now it looks like not really either of them are able to kind of make their mark, it seems. Both fighting onto the point right now. Encro, though, able to take out 2-0. That's a pretty big pick.
Yeah, just those picks on the side from Encro that just basically open everything up here for the side of Citizens because they weren't in a position to actually control the point. With the DPS, they just want to shoot out from the inside, and that's in from the outside, and that's exactly what they did. So that's how they got it in the end.
Yeah, Citizens right now seem to be doing a lot better when it comes to longer fights. They're able to seem a little bit more sustained, while Aptyx seem like they're going to be able to get like the first pick. So I think it's really just going to be about Aptyx going in here and trying to clean up the fight quick. Otherwise, if you give too much time, then Citizens are just going to be able to kind of restabilize and hold the point.
They trade out Camboyo for their own Sombra, but that Sombra's going to be back a lot quicker. And with Encro going down as well, Alexio, that's a pick you're willing to take because 2-0 might be able to get that res off. Moonblue under a little bit of pressure from Default, but Default's going to regret that position really quickly. And it's going to be Purple, takes down 2-0. And Mui, Purple going off there. Does get demech, but that's not really going to be enough. They need a little bit more in order to get this point. They do flip it, but this fight is not over by a long shot. Moonblue and Salieri in a little bit of a struggle because he tries to get Alexio in their spawn, but he's not going to get out alive. Meanwhile, the point is almost being flipped, but Borkin makes it in time. So that point control is still there for Aptyx. And now the fight's going to get further on the way.
Big EMP.
Barrage is there for Moonblue, but this gets taken out by Encro in the meantime. The EMP was big, but the follow-up isn't quite there. Default actually manages to get rest back up, and it looks like Citizens is still able to properly fight here. The numbers are relatively even, but 2-0 falling is a big deal. Praise and Moonblue following, and it's only Camboyo on the other side. This looks like Citizens is going to retake it here, but they at least got a little bit of percentage on Aptyx, so not 100-0 here.
Yeah, they definitely like to see that they got a little bit of percentage. Still Citizens a little bit above them, just taking the point back here. But you see, again, that fight went out for a long time. And I know that, understandably, Aptyx did cap the point, so technically you might want to count that as a fight over. But everyone's still engaging onto the point itself. This Diva Bomb coming in here, kind of an anti-air control for that Farah Mercy. But like I said, long fight, and Citizens are able to come out on top. So it's really just going to be about Aptyx focusing on the whole team and just trying to take them out as quick as possible.
Salieri just almost saved himself the bubble, but him and Default are both going down now. So it's a very good opening. Not a lot of CC left here for the side of Citizens. They do get Borkin off the map, I think. No, he might have saved himself with that grapple. He's gonna, Encro just gets him in the end. The floor box is a little bit too low. Encro gets another one on Alexio, and Rack Attack has fallen as well. So this is still a relatively even fight here. But the Winston is already back in, so those early picks not leading too much here because they've already respawned. The Barrage from Moonblue, a little bit more value this time, but still gets taken out after only taking out the mech. Encro, the Vanilla Farah is just looking so much stronger. Did go off the map to Alexio. I think a sleep dart hit them, but wow. Citizens just looking up so well, even with numbers down.
Yeah, just these long fights are just really, it seems to be what they live for right now. Like we saw at the end there with more or less the last fight, now just going into more of a stall mode. Citizens now taking the map. That there was 2 picks. There was 2 people down on the side of Citizens, but the engage wasn't fast enough from the side of Aptyx, and they were just able on the side of Citizens to resustain themselves and just get back into the fight. Here we see pretty well-sized grab here. It was pretty close leading up to that. So Purple and Salieri actually able to take out 4 there, kind of on their own, with the Ana to help them a little bit there in the back line. Very impressive. Good round coming out from Citizens. Aptyx, though, definitely not out of the fight yet. What map we're going to see next here?
It could mean a lot. Like what map we see, but it did look like both on the DPS comp and on the more heavy tank comp. It didn't really look that like Citizens had a lot of trouble dealing with Aptyx. So they would maybe have to go for something like Orisa style compositions that are a lot more. They're very different once again, and with that lack of aggression that Aptyx sometimes portrayed, so they couldn't really flip that switch of, oh, we got 2 picks, let's go. That favors a Orisa style composition a little bit more over a dive in a goats composition that really have to flip that switch a lot more. So that might be something they want to go for. It might be something they've practiced a lot as well.
Yeah, Citizens now looking to be the ones to ban the first map here. They're going to immediately ban Junkertown. They don't want to play, it looks like, towards more of that bunker style, whether that's not because they're as familiar as they want to be with it, or if it's because they just don't like going up against it, which is completely understandable. But banning out Junkertown first, not usually something you see. You usually see your Horizon, maybe an Oasis, something along that lines here.
Look, as long as Paris isn't in the pool, every first ban is still open up for discussion. And Junkertown has been a map we've seen banned a lot, so I'm not that phased by it. But Eichenwald's going to be the choice here from Aptyx. What do you think about that one?
I think that's a pretty good pick on the side of Aptyx, because we don't really have any information on how Aptyx actually plays on Eichenwald. Meanwhile, Citizens, their first map in their last match was on Eichenwald, and they were able to do a pretty good attack and hold. But now, since they're the ones, Aptyx, knowing what they might do, they definitely have the upper hand in this map, so I think it's a pretty good choice. And you're able to run a bunch of different compositions on this map, so it'll be interesting to see what both sides of our teams go for.
Yeah, and while you're able to get a lot of different compositions, it also means there's a lot of opportunities for a lot of different players to do very well. And if you think someone's doing very well, guess what? You can let us know. There's a panel underneath your Twitch stream, should be just right there. There's a lot of player names in there. You can vote for which player you think should be the most valued player of this match, and so the MVP vote. Yeah, give it to someone. You don't have to do it yet. You can wait until the end, because obviously there's still at least 2 more maps to go, including Eichenwald. But don't wait too long, because you wait too long, the poll's going to be closed, and then we'll already be announcing the results, and you wouldn't have voted, and that would be a shame, of course.
Going to Eichenwald here, you imagine to see the bunker. Like I said, you can really play anything on here, but a bunker is usually kind of the new staple. The pulled pork sort of meta is really what's coming up right now, and it's frankly also here. It's just a matter of teams getting more familiar with it and more accustomed to it. So what we're going to be seeing here, I imagine a bunker on the defense, but on the offense, we're probably going to be seeing either that more Gocha style, or we're going to be seeing the DPS. I don't think we're going to be seeing a bunker on the offense. I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. It could happen.
Yeah, it could definitely happen, and I think the power of the bunker can shine on both sides. I mean, the teams that we've seen run it a lot can run it on both sides. But I gotta say, it's also been a lot of goats on both sides, a lot of DPS on both sides, and Farah is just a very popular pick in general. So that's something you want to deal with in general. But it looks like the defense at least is gonna run out with that Orisa Hog style. Not as bunkerish though, because both of the DPS are gonna attack from different angles. So it's just gonna be the core of the Roadhog, Ana, Orisa, and then the rest is just gonna be mobile, flying around and doing whatever they can, really.
Yeah, so we will be seeing that little bit of a bunker style here on the offense, but we will also be seeing it here on the defense. The Somber here is gonna be pretty big. stopping
Ooh,
them
nice
from getting much
anti.
damage. Yeah, really good
You
anti-nade.
see that? Default gets the kill on the Borkin. I mean, that's just you've practiced that in the custom game. And I always like to see that effort of just saying, you know what? I know exactly where to throw it, that it hits them in their spawn. And the follow-up as well from the Pharah and the Sombra, amazing. The focus is going to continue here, but that's a good opening. And I think it's going to feel good about that one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you practice nades like that, and the fact that not only did it hit like 3 people, but it also equaled out to a kill onto Borkin. You got to be pretty happy about that, Encro. With now the Mei taken down, they got to back up a little bit here. They can't get too aggressive on the side of Aptyx right now. But
Yeah.
speaking of getting aggressive,
Purple
maybe getting a little too aggressive here, getting taken down pretty low now. Slept.
Yeah, and that is Praise also falling. That Res will come in, so they finally get a 6-man engage, and they use the wall offensively to get purple after all. So now they're actually going to be a member down here, because I don't think that can be a Res. Borkin is slept here, but I don't think they can finish that Orisa off, because it just has a little bit too much health. And it looks like they can actually go in and have a proper attack here. Default is just on them, and Encro just gets the double kill once again. They get the picks, but they don't go quickly enough. So Encro just pulls it back with a triple K of the barrage, and this fight is over once again.
Yeah, really good barrage coming in from Encro here. And Rag Attack was able again to hit one of those amazing anti-nades to just kind of stop everybody from getting healed no matter what. So even though they probably would have got killed no matter what for the barrage, just that triple anti-nade again just made it that much more possible for the barrage to be a little bit of a upper hand movement.
Cycle is in default ready for the the ultimate cycle. I mean, of course, and default's ready here. Has the Sombra ult. Well, the Blizzard comes in though, and they get purple again. They need to really go with this. They really need to start getting some pull here, because default has to translocate out as well. This is really the moment. This is the time they have to go. But can they get the follow? Bob is gonna go and try and do something, but the EMP comes in, doesn't get the hack. Oh, Bob is actually hacked as well, so they don't really get that much for the EMP, but they get what they need because the ball pressure is gone. Now it's the time to attack. Aptyx eSports on the point with Borkin, and the flanks are being taken over as well by Alexio and by Mui. Moonblue will fall on their offensive side, but they already used the Blizzard, of course, so it's just going to be a trade out. The Mercy for the Sombra, for the Ana. Sombra is now default trying to get here on the point, but it looks like Borkin is very well established. Encro, no Mercy right now, so really has to just do everything solo without getting healed. Salieri's back on the Hammond, and there's purple on the Hawk. There's a lot of health on the point now for the defense, but not that much finish potential. Salieri is just going to hook top, burst down. It looks like the point will go over to Aptyx here. 3 minutes 40, and they get into the street space.
Yeah, Kevin with a fairly good amount of time left here, getting into this next phase. But now on the side of Citizens are going to like to go over to actually stay on the same thing. I thought someone was going to switch. That's my bad. But Moonblue is actually going to switch over to the Hanzo off of that Mei, which no surprise there, really. We got Roadhog now, Ana, Mercy, you know. And it's kind of weird how teams like to go with both of these supports instead of one that might have a defensive ultimate. But that's really just because when you have the Mercy ultimate, that's more of a disengage. So it's less of that you want that Lucio ult to disengage when you could just use that Valkyrie to do it, and then you can just go back in because you still have so much time on it, and you can also use a damage boost on it. So it just feels like it's a lot nicer most of the time to use.
Yeah, and Encro just has this obnoxious position of the fire. They really have to try to get that angle on them. He now gets nanoed as well, has the barrage almost ready. There it goes out. No one is in sight, though, because the gate is dropping it. They do get Alexio somehow with it, because he's tried to sleep it. He hit the sleep dart, but Alexio gets rezzed up. Moonblue is now on the flank, tries to get something done with the Hanzo. Does get the whole hog into his face. Salieri is going to be purple, but doesn't matter if Borkin goes down. Mui does manage to stay alive and stay off on the cliff, but will still die, I think, in the end. No, the healing does come in. Mui will fall, but the fight has already been lost by Aptyx.
Yeah, going in there, that barrage was looking like it wasn't going to get anything, and he got slept last second there, but he was able to pick up the Ana, which was really good. And then they were just slowly able to build off that, but Moonblue able to get off Rag Attack there at the start. You'd love to see that one on the side of...
It's a nice pick, but they still get the res off, so it's not... I mean, they get the res out. I think that's the main thing they can go with. Almost get the whole hook combo off there, but I think the hook was broken, or the hack came in from default. There is Borkin's supercharger. Let's see how much damage you can get out of that one. It's not enough, it seems, because it gets broken straight away, but Encro does go down, and remember, they don't have the res. Borkin gets hooked, though, so it looks like Mui has a little bit of shield left, but is just going to have to fall back. Meanwhile, Moonblue is falls as well. They do get default and wreck attacks, so this fight is going back and forth, and the spawns are closer here for Aptyx, but they really need to start getting some more kills. Purple, anti-heal, cannot get that take a breather value. Mui as well, and also falls. So they just keep trading the same heroes back and forth, and with Praise falling and Encro as well. Once again, 2 DPS down. Two are going to be able to do anything. Looks like he wants to go for the res. Does get it off, but will take his life for that. Mui on the Salieri now. Salieri anti-healed. And meanwhile, Moonblue it also goes down. This is just, once again, it's such a back and forth. And Aptyx is not able to get the definitive numbers advantage. It seems like they might finally have able to do it with Salieri falling. But there's just so much coming out here for Citizens. They buy the most time they can.
Yeah, and I think the big thing there was that Alexia was able to just stay alive over in the back, able actually to pick up 3 kills during that fight, and then putting the nano on a Mui so that way they can just go in there and just start pumping through all that damage with the Roadhog, really making it hard on Alexia getting another kill. Really, GPS Ana in a way, getting a lot of kills right now.
Yeah, it's probably Praise and Alexia working together a little bit, but Encro will just get rezzed up. There's a nice EMP from default. Just make sure that the tanks cannot do anything. Borkin just gets pulled back. Will actually be taken out by Salieri and not by the whole hog, but without those tanks, they can't push right.
Yeah, getting rid of those tanks just makes it so much harder to push that point. And losing Alexia right there is also unfortunate because now we're coming down to about 10 seconds left here. Who's really going to be able to touch the point here? Borkin's going to switch over to the Hammond. So there's definitely a potential to touch that point, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it there in time.
No, Purple was there to stop him, and with 1 second left, not even the Fire or the Diva will make it. It's going to be stopping here in the middle of the bridge, which is not that far an icon wall. Most teams will actually push to there, won't they?
Yeah, you'll see them be able to, if they do get the point, push it usually past that bridge area on the second phase. But I think right now it's just going to come down to as long as they're able to hold the first point. I think if Citizens are able to capture that first point and actually start to get the cart moving, then it could start looking a little bit more dangerous for Aptyx here. Purely just because I think that once you get that momentum, it's really hard to stop. And Citizens, when they do get momentum, it is really hard to stop them. So if they're not able to stop them from capping the first point, then I think we can see Citizens roll this through and possibly take the point. I could be wrong. Like I said, I've been wrong before. Like how I said we probably wouldn't see a bunker on the attack. Aptyx did it, you know? They showed me wrong.
Yeah, Aptyx really, I wouldn't say necessarily preparing for the next meta, but it's something that a lot of teams are expecting to be the next meta with the 2-2-2 coming in. And I mean, they looked okay on it. They definitely didn't look bad on it. But there wasn't as much hold hook combos coming out from either team, to be honest. There was a lot of attempts to it, but a lot of fortifies, a lot of either maybe diva eats or hacks or whatever they came in. So the attempts were just that. There were attempts.
Yeah, and now on the defense here on the side of Aptyx, running that Mei, Hanzo, Pharah, solo support Mercy here. You can really do that with this team comp because 2 or 3 of your people are going to be behind the shield at most times. But on the offense here, default onto that Sombra with that EMP could be completely taking someone out in a fight, but Borkin able to get the first pick on a Salieri.
It's good that the defenders get that first early pick. That's definitely what they needed. Not as early as Citizens got it on their defense. They got a little bit of it. And the poke is just ensuing. Encro and Moonblue once again trying to fight it out in the sky, but Encro just be able to do so much damage. He's just a little bit ahead in that ult charge.
Yeah, right now it looks like Moonblue just kind of looking for a bit of an offing and try to pick up people from the back. Alexio's going to be the one to pick up Encro, though. And now Praise also down, getting res back up Encro now. And with the advantage coming through now for Citizens, looking a little bit scary on the side of Aptyx.
Purple managing to get that hook up to the fire. 2-0 slept up as well, so it looks like this is going to be very hard for Aptyx to keep holding. And it could be a very quick point A take here.
Yeah, Praise switch over just to that Widow to kind of deal with that Far Mercy a bit more reliably now.
I can get that. I can get behind that.
And looks like we're going to have a few switches coming through here. For at least 3 of the players. Oh man, just absolutely running up there. Purple able to actually find the hook on a Praise. Looks like
so
we're gonna be
stopping
seeing
purple now. The tanks are taking so much space here. It's just Salieri and purple. They just keep walking forward and keep getting hooks, and then they just enable Rack Attack to get all those sleep darts as well. It's actually really hard to watch now. Oh, the barrage Encro is just the enter. I mean, Mui gets him out of the sky, but it also gets Camboyo. But you only get the pharmacy down. They still get to push the card for free. They've only just gone through the gate, and they're now coming up to the first bridge. But they're already spawn camping them. It's just gonna be Rack Attack on the cart.
Yeah, they're really putting a lot of pressure forward here. That way they can try to push this as far as they can, for as long as they can. And right now, it's going to be a little bit hard to come out considering they don't have all those shields to help them negate some damage here. They're going to have to just try to get some picks as they walk out or use some ultimates, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to elect to use the Mercy Valkyrie here. Down 2, though, able to res 1. We're going to see what happens here. Fight's looking pretty close.
It's not really a fight. They just keep picking people as they come out of spawn. Default even gets the EMP here on all the defenders. So they're just going to clean it up. Just going to be the map. That's going to be it. And Citizens looking overwhelmingly dominant, I would say, on Icon Balls.
Yeah, I mean, going into that last fight there, I thought that there was maybe a little bit more chance for Aptyx, but Citizens just kept getting those picks because of how much pressure they had so far pushed up. And really being able to contest the cart there was nearly impossible on the side of Aptyx because they were kind of missing out on just so much damage mitigation.
Yeah. Can we really say that that may be like the tone of the series so far? Where Citizens is just using the aggressive space they can take and just take as much as they can rather than Aptyx. They get the pick sometimes, but like again, they can't throw really that switch off. Like they're just like we're gonna go. Like they play a little bit more reserved as that makes space in both aggression and in just the space they have and take and use.
Yeah, because I mean we've seen Citizens play before. They're fairly regular here on the tournament now, and they just always seem like they know when to be aggressive and when to push back. They have made those few mistakes a couple of times. Teamers are able to catch them off guard, but most of the time they're really able to understand like how they should be acting during these fights, and they knew there that. Okay, the 3 people just jumped off the edge to hurry up and reset. They're not going to have enough time to come back and take the space back. Let's hurry up and push up and take what we can and push for as long as we can without having too much pressure on the cart.
Yeah, it's really... I think the times where you've seen Citizens struggle or be under pressure is when they've played against a team that does that exact same thing. So Citizens has been giving a lot of space or just, takes a lot of space and the other team is not necessarily challenging too much on it. And every single time they get challenged on that, they struggle a little bit more. So if Aptyx wants to do something here, I think that is where they can most improve or at least change something up. Where they have to just somehow change either I don't know if you want to call it the rhythm of their fights, like the flow of their game. But definitely, like we said, like throwing over that switch a little bit harder, going in further, just using the map and using aggression a little bit.
Yeah, it would be nice to see Aptyx be a little more aggressive, especially when they get one of the first picks. But I think that Citizens are also able to kind of see when they're going to get aggressive and kind of try to sweep the rug from under them as they start to run up. Now Aptyx going to pick a map. They're going to elect to pick Hollywood. Yeah. I don't think they can pick Hollywood because we just did Icon.
Can't. No, we just did Hybrid.
Yeah. So we're gonna wait for them to pick another map. What map would they pick though? I think they would probably they definitely wouldn't want to pick Dorado. They're gonna pick Dorado.
Yeah, they're gonna do it. Let's go.
Oh.
My understanding is though that the Sky battle has currently been won by Ankro. The tank battle is not as decided as maybe you would think it is. That has a lot to do with just like again the space, etc. Not necessarily with the mechanical play. I think the tank duos are fairly matched up, but Ankro in the Sky is just outperforming Moonblue all the time, and that's not necessarily on Moonblue. I mean, there's also a lot that the rest of the team does in order to help Ankro out, and on the other side that has to help Moonblue out. So it's a team effort still. But that is playing a big role. Like the stronger Pharah on the Citizen side is putting up so much extra pressure. It's actually is really problematic for Aptyx. And I think on Dorado you might see a lot of Pharah again.
Yeah, and I'm kind of confused as why they would pick Dorado. Maybe it's because they already know that they have footage on Citizens with Dorado, and maybe they have something they want to pull out against them. But in their last match, they actually, I believe, lost on Dorado, and Citizens won on Dorado. So picking this map is a bit of a gamble here. But I mean, if they're going to do it, I imagine that they probably have an ace up their sleeve.
Yeah, they should be ready for anything really if it comes to that. But looks like I mean, they're gonna start an attack again, so definitely can set the pace to how far Citizens will have to push on their side if they just if they want to really do that. Citizens got to pick the side, so they chose defense. I don't know what's gonna come out here. I mean, obviously Dorado has been something that Orisa is also very popular on, so I'm guessing that trend is just gonna continue. It's mostly about what's going to be behind the Orisa and the Hog. It's just like, will we see maybe an extra diva, an extra tank? Some teams have gone for that. Maybe some DPS, obviously. Supports. Looks to be a fairly standard trend going out, though. Like, this is these comps that are coming out right now. That's definitely something we see a lot.
Yeah, right now on defense, looks like they're gonna. I imagine they're gonna switch up this a little bit. Yeah, Salieri. I was like, no way, he stays on the Zen. All right, back over to the Orisa now.
Oh, look, it would have been interesting.
Double sniper. Nothing too crazy. Yeah,
it would have been very interesting. It's Salieri on the Zenyatta in the first place, but then 3 supports and a solo Hog tank. That would have been amazing. Like, I would have been totally up for that. I mean, they could have been onto something, and they're 2-0 up, so they could potentially just lose the map and then win the next one. But they just want to play what they need to play, and looks like it's going to be good. Attacker's going to run just a mirror. It's going to be a mirror, guys. Double sniper. This looks a lot like Junkertown metas and a lot of other places as well, without the Bastion, obviously. But
yeah. And on a map like this, the snipers are so huge because there is just so many places for them to play. You have red right up next to where the cart starts, where you usually see like the Widow or the Hanzo go immediately. You have around the little bridge area where you see one of the snipers also go and just try to get a pick off at the start. But right now, Aptyx doing a really good job just slowly moving this card up here, going all the way over to the bridge in fairly good time.
Ankro has a little bit of trouble finding the right position as he has to go around the fountains, really being pressured here by the attacker. Is not even on the high ground, just far in the back. Might now finally put a Venom Mine and just not be flanked, but they definitely are pushing forward with Aptyx. They're using the space a little bit better, but Mui gets hooked in, gets anti-nated, will get behind the shield in time, so the healing is going to be there, I think. But in the meantime, there's just going to be, well, they're going to be pushing back and forth. Mui gets hooked in again, and this time, not so lucky to get away. Borkin is going to back up behind the car, doesn't want to deal with that, but he's going to push on the main tank, get him out as well to a wolf fall, and this fight's over for Aptyx.
Yeah, going into that fight there, it was pretty amazing that Mubu was actually able to get out of there. Not only was he hooked, but he was slept and he was anti-nated, so getting out with a very low HP. Then actually getting picked off not too long after that once the hook came back off cooldown. Purple realizing he's probably a little too far forward, so he's going to go ahead and run for it. But yeah, like I said, usually they're pretty good about it being aggressive when and when not to be. But Purple's been getting really aggressive recently. Like, he was really aggressive there on Eichenwall, and he was actually picked off a couple times. Default able to actually take out 2, and then Enkro picking off Alexio. Picks are just going back and forth right now. Sniper's really showing up in the kill feed.
Yeah, it's definitely showing up. They're going both. Praise gets 2 already in this fight, and that's a good start here, especially getting Enkro after the res has already been used from the defense. They're going to be able to push a little bit harder with this, but Default is in such a good position. Gets Borkin behind the shield. Mui does get the counter on that, but they need to be able to do something with that Orisa, because otherwise that shield with Salieri is just going to be a bane to their existence, really. And look, they're just going to have to wait for their Orisa, which means that Anchor is also going to be back, and in the meantime, Purple just takes down Praise.
Man, there's just so many picks coming in and out here, but like I said, these long fights are usually favored towards the side of Citizens. And right now, a lot of ults on both teams right now. Something tells me, guess what? Your screens, they're gonna get colorful right now with the first thing popping out as a bongo. Now Dragons coming through.
Dragons. They tried to halt them into the Dragons as well, but that didn't really come out. Salieri tries to do to halt them. They get the same combo, but they are successful getting Borkin. I think 2-0 might be able to get that res off, and they will be able to do so. So it's going to be both teams being full again, but Purple just jumps in with the nano whole hog. Was going to be anti-aided, so it does get taken down here. But both teams, they just keep trading out. Ankro now gets Praise, and then Ankro's on the the side, it's 2-0 as well. Did get booped and bopped around, but just gets 2, and Alexio and Rakitek both falling. Looks like another fight win for Citizens, because the tank lines are just going to be up. Solieri does get taken out, though, so Mui and Borkin could maybe... Nope, it's over. It's done. That's not going to happen. 40 seconds, they will need to reset. Praise does get a late kill on default, so that might help in the next fight, but it has to be the next fight.
Yeah, Praise are now getting a lot of pickoffs here, but on the side of Citizens, they're just very good at sustaining. And right now, the spot that they're holding for defense here is just really good for them because there's just so much cover to hide behind and so many angles to kind of defend from. Meanwhile, on the attack here, you got to go through underneath the bridge there or like go up all the way through the stairs. There's not really many angles that you can go through. And when you do go through them, you go in through a team right now. And Purple, because he's been playing aggressive, is just like, you know what, I'm just going to switch over to him, but he's going to get taken out, but not after taking out 2-0 first.
Yeah, 2-0 is definitely a good pick to get there. Camboyo also fall on the other side, but they had gone the Rizov on Ankro, and they're just going to kill everything. That's just what's happening. They just kill everything, especially with that damage boost. But wow. That's a good hold from Citizens. That's all I can say. That was definitely so well done.
Yeah, I think that on the defense now, Aptyx is going to have to do a fairly similar comp to try to hold this here. But like I said, it was a very favorable position for the defense once you get to that point. So I think that they're definitely going to be able to do it here. The cart, while it wasn't pushed too far since Citizens was able to hold it, I don't see why Aptyx couldn't be able to hold it. Excuse me. But I think that's really just going to come down to how well they're going to be winning these sniper duels because they've been doing really good so far. Both sides, honestly, with the snipers, but it's just kind of been about engaging after you get those picks that made the fights last out longer.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit of a shame, and it has a lot to do with that teamwork, like we said before. You know, the levels of aggression and how you use the space, and you know when you use the space. And I gotta say, I was saying the tank light looked very even, but Salieri and Purple are really showing up very well right now. It's just it's been hard to really play against that for Aptyx right now, and I mean, they have a lot of footage to go back on, right? Like I always say, you learn more from your losses than from your wins. So I definitely think that they might still have a better hold here. It's still possible, but it's looking like Citizens' level is just a little bit above theirs right now.
Yeah, but they're gonna start off with the bunker here, right above where the card is, relatively speaking. Here, once they start pushing it up a bit more after the first corner. It's a pretty good spot to hold, especially right now they have the Ashe, actually, so she's going to be able to throw down that Dynamite and just get a lot of damage in, especially if they are damage boosted once their TNT goes through. But double shields right now on the side of Citizens is going to make it really hard for them to see much value. Whether it's breaking shields or trying to get picks with the snipers, it's going to make it really difficult.
Definitely is, and so far no picks have really been made, so it's going to be very possible here to still hold. And now they're going to get into that position behind the choke where you can hold very well. That Arch is just blocking all the sight lines here for the sniper, so the attackers and the defense is set up properly. Purple tried to do something from the side here with that Zenyatta. It's going to be Moonblue getting the first headshot kill on a Salieri with those storm arrows, and it looks like they just don't want to push with a man down. So they don't have a mercy right now because Purple's on Zenyatta. But with those double shields, they are thinking they can go through the choke a little bit easier, and it does look they are able to progress because Borkin has only one, and Anchor and Rakitek have two, but they're still backing off. They still have to deal with the shields in some way. Solieri does get the kill, and Praise is now on that Widowmaker. A little bit of a party pick maybe, but it's going to be Mui Nano on the Purple. Finally gets that kill with the help of Moonblue, and they still haven't gone through for Citizens. I mean, they still get held here underneath this archway.
Yeah, but good kill on the Moonblue right now. Too going to pop that Valk as an answer right now to try to make sure that they're able to sustain themselves a bit more. Praise trying to just get as many shots in from far away as possible. The Dragons here doing fairly well to pull into them.
Are they going to be able to hold them off? Nope. It's going to be the final push. Citizens gets it in. That's a 3-0 win for them. And I mean, what quick can we say? Citizens just looking very good. And Aptyx, while they showed promise, just wasn't enough today, unfortunately for them. And Default gets that nice Hanzo play of the game. That's not a surprise. Was doing a lot of work on that one. And it was that Dragon where they pulled in the enemy tanks. Got the kill in the movie straight away with that. And then Borkin to fall. That was... I remember that moment because Aptyx had just tried to do that same combo, but they couldn't get the value. And then straight after, they do it on Citizen to just get everything. That is... I mean, it's a little bit of a feels bad sometimes, but you know what? It kind of shows how the game went today. They both played very similar compositions. The Citizens just played a little bit better.
Yeah, I think that Citizens today just kind of seemed like they were really on their A game. They were 100% sure where they wanted to be aggressive and when they wanted to be aggressive. And Purple there was getting really, really aggressive. At some points of time, eventually getting himself picked off, but not before taking out someone with him, most likely here.
Yeah, so once again, don't forget to vote for your MVPs. We know there's not that much footage to go off, but it's still enough to maybe make a choice. So go ahead under Twitch, click on the panels, and if you've already done so, you just want to have the radio commentary, just go look at omnicoach.gg, a little bit of a checkup, what do they have? Maybe do I want something from them? And if you're going to purchase like a video package from them, first one, 10% off with the code of Star Esports. But without further ado, gonna get into this default welcome to the chat.
Oh crap, I forgot my name's back. It's Rack Attack, sorry.
Yeah, I figured.
Attack.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I just, you know what? That's the thing. It keeps happening. You know what, guys? Players change their name in Discord, and then we are just confused about who they are. Welcome to the chat, Rack Attack. Sorry about that one.
It's all good.
And congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, very, very good win today, bringing out the 3-0. And from the Ana play there on Eichenwald with that nade, that was pretty cool. Like, I wasn't expecting that nade to come through. Did you guys, I imagine you had to practice that, or maybe was it just luck?
For what part? Like at the spawn door?
On Eichenwald at the start.
Spawn door.
Oh yeah. I just went into a couple maps and just started throwing nades until they started hitting. in
Nice.
the right
I mean,
place.
it
There's a,
definitely showed up there.
yeah, there's a workshop mode. It tells you right where it lands. It has a bird's eye view. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, nice to see people using the workshop mode now with all the nades and stuff like that. It's really always fun to see, and I like to see it during a match too. That was a pretty good nade to just start off the whole round there.
Yeah.
But from Eichenwald, we went into Dorado, and Dorado is a map that you guys won your last match, and you seemed like you were pretty good in. How did you feel going into that one?
We felt pretty good. We're still trying to stick with as much 2-2-2 as we could for upcoming, because it's been released and told about. So we just stuck with our double sniper.
Yeah, and now with this 2-2-2, like you said, coming out, we're seeing a lot more Orisa Hog. It's definitely gonna be your new staple meta tanks that you're gonna go with. Have you guys been practicing that a lot more now that it's all just kind of the dust has settled and we all kind of know what's gonna happen going forward?
Yeah, we've been practicing that and a good amount of dive, because a good dive can just destroy any team if they don't have goats.
Yeah, I have to
Fair
agree
enough.
with you on that one there. I mean, dive, it's kind of an older comp, but I mean, it's still valuable, it wasn't a meta comp for a year for no reason. It's good.
Yeah.
Do you think that going into your next match, you're going to be looking back at this one and understanding what you guys did right and where maybe you can learn something even from your opponents here?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely gonna look back at stuff, see what we did wrong or right, because now it's an actual match instead of just a scrim.
Mhm.
That we could just be doing random things in scrims and trying out random comps.
Yeah, I saw at the end on Dorado, you guys kind of switched up your roles a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty good at Rissa, not gonna lie. I got a 4.5 Rissa count. I don't know how, but it got up there.
Yeah, it was fun to watch, man. Really good game today. Like I said again, congrats on the win there. Thank you so much for coming in for the interview as well.
Thank you for having me.
All right. With that being said, we're just gonna sit here now and kind of wait for our MVP to come in and announce them, because while the MVP today may not have been someone from Citizens, it could still be someone from Aptyx. It just kind of depends on who you guys really think kind of showed up today in this match.
Yeah, and an MVP, it's a little bit of that broad definition where you can say what what it means is always a little bit of a thing, and it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't necessarily have to be with the winning team, and that wasn't the case today either, because we're getting Borkin on the MVP vote here, so Borkin's gonna walk away with that, not anyone on Citizens. So yeah, that's that exactly shows how that works. MVP doesn't have to be from the winning team, just a player you think did most for their team in a game like that, and did that better than the player that did that on the other team. So Borkin walking away with that one. Definitely showing up on the Orisa today.
Yeah, definitely being a really good main tank that the team needs. At times, when things may have looked a little bit shaky, Borkman was able to actually use that fortify or use that pull to either keep the enemy away for a little bit longer and disengage them, or to use it as their sort of engaging tool with it. So very good, definitely someone who definitely might have deserved that MVP today. You know, anybody I think could have gotten the MVP. We saw some pretty good plays coming out from a good handful of people there, and now going into this, I mean, Citizens, you know, last tournament's winner or runner-up, tournament before that winner, and we actually got to see Phase 1 the other day get another win. So who knows? Maybe these teams meet up again at some point in the future and go for that title.
Definitely could. Yeah, I mean, they won't meet up before the semifinals. That's the earliest place they really could. But it's definitely possible. Like the upper bracket semifinals, game 15, that's going to happen on the 30th of July. So it's still a bit away. Before that, we're still going to have both teams play at least one more match in the round 3 of the upper bracket. But who knows? Maybe they'll both get there, and then we get I'm sure we're going to get a fun match regardless who they play. But that would be a fun one to see before the finals, and then maybe they get back to each other in the grand finals again if the loser of that beats the lower bracket final. So it's all up there, but there's plenty of teams there. It's not just about Citizens in Phase 1. I'm very curious to see how this tournament's going to turn out.
Yeah, and if you want to see more how this tournament's going to turn out, go ahead and follow us, subscribe, check us out on YouTube, where we upload all of our matches here. Today we actually had a match that unfortunately we weren't able to broadcast. I don't know if that's going to be shown on the YouTube, but you will get the score for that, I'm sure, as soon as we're able to. I've been Poor Zach, your color caster. You can find me on Twitch at Poor Zach, YouTube Poor Zach, Instagram Poor Zach, and then I've been joined, of course, by my good friend Man of Class.
Yeah, I'm definitely easy to find, Man of Class OW. If you've seen Overwatch logo with a guy in a suit in the middle and a beard, that's probably me, because that's usually how I cast it. That's also what my quote unquote logo looks like. So I've got my own brand now. But Man of Class OW on Twitter and Twitch is my most preferred platforms right now. And we hope to see you in the next one. Obviously, Overwatch All-Star Brawl keeps on going, and we should have another match coming to you, as soon as possible, obviously. So see you guys in the next one. Have a good night, and I'll see you on the other side, obviously.
Goodbye.